it is. It's over now. It's completely over. The first season of the Orville is in the books.
I was
It's
like,
done.
what?
It is done.
It is done.
Worth it. Well worth it though.
It was really good.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. And this is the 12th episode review of the Orville. It was called Mad Idolatry. And this was like one of the best episodes of the season.
It was really good.
I really like the concept of, full spoilers ahead in case you didn't know. I really like the concept of watching a religion progress, and it kind of makes you wonder, it was because there was this planet goes out of our universe, it disappears into a wormhole or something for 11 days, but in those 11 days 700 years pass. So it's Kelly is seen by this primitive tribe, and
they go to investigate because they don't really know what's going on.
So it's not really caveman era, but more first century type stuff. They're living in huts and everything, and so these kids see her, they run, kid trips, falls, busts the kid's head open. She heals the kid. Some people see her do it, and they end up creating an entire religion around her. And they show up, 700 years later in this planet's time, and they have, it's Middle Ages type stuff. They have statues of her. They're killing people in her name and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then, Ed lies in his report about her doing that, and basically says nothing. And
then when they start worshiping her, it kind of becomes an issue.
Yeah. So they do that, and it was kind of funny because, there was that one part whenever the woman, the big captain or the general or, whatever, the space fleet commander, basically tells him, if you do this one more time, or, if you even step foot on that planet, you're done. And he, mocks her after he turns the thing off, but come to find out,
he didn't turn it off.
Yeah, he didn't turn it off. And she was like, what?
That was the absolute best joke. It was really the only joke made, but...
It was the only joke of the whole show.
But God, that was so epic.
Holy crap, it was funny.
Like I told you, it's that's going to be really hard to top the G-spot joke, but that was it.
Well, you can really kind of relate to it, because that kind of crap would really happen.
Yes, it would.
You hit the button and it was and then suddenly they're still on the screen.
They're like,
and
what'd you say? And you're like,
that was great. That was really joke of the season. They really waited to the end. And believe it or not, this didn't feel like a season finale.
No, you could tell that there should have been one more episode, because there was absolutely no huge cliffhangers anyway. I mean, there was the cliffhanger of, because, I called it. I said they were going to at least kiss before the end of the season, and they did this
Well, they did, but they ended up not together.
Can I finish the sentence before you interrupt me? Anyway, but that was the little cliffhanger, is because Kelly decided it wasn't in either of their best interests to pursue a relationship.
Wasn't quite ready.
Because, and she had very good points. It was clouding his judgment as a captain.
I don't think it was, because
I think it was.
He had made decisions that could get him in trouble regardless for the better good of his crew before this.
Yeah, but this one was more extreme. You know what I mean? Not to mention, the thing is Kelly is, believe it or not, despite her, sleeping with somebody else while they were married, she carries things on her very heavily. and she feels like she's responsible for something and for something bad happening, it really weighs on her, and she can't deal with that.
It's like not necessary, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, somebody who's
she will feel incredibly guilty about the littlest thing.
And it's like there are people like that, nothing is their fault, but they carry everything as their fault.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up hurting them in the long run because...
But that probably has to do because she still feels guilty about sleeping with the other dude.
Yeah, but he has already seen past it.
I know, but she hasn't. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to relate to that well. I'm just saying. You're like that. You can carry stuff a little too much longer.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like going on about her. I need to like look in the mirror and say that, I guess. But yeah, this was really cool because it was interesting in the fact that whenever they came back to like the Middle Ages planet, and she basically goes to, I guess, like their pope or whatever, and like the big religious leader, and is like, look, I'm just a regular person. I'm mortal. I can be hurt. This is how I did it. I use this little tool. And so the spiritual leader, he basically decides, okay, yeah, we're going to tell the people about this. Well,
second.
Well, I don't think he was the second-hand man. Here's what it is. Back in the Middle Ages, you had like the kingship, your government, who was basically in bed with the Catholic Church. And so I don't think that guy was like a second-hand man or anything. That guy looked more like a military commander or some kind of government guy. And because he was like, hey, we're not going to be able to keep these people in line without your religion.
Well, that's true.
And so I really think that he was more of a government or military type, and they were working together to keep the people in line.
Regardless of his title, he was still corrupted with power.
Yes, very much.
That's what it boils down to.
And so this Pope type character decides, oh, okay, I'm going to tell everybody. The guy's like, nope, we can't let that happen. Stabs him in the back, kills him. The planet phases into its other universe, comes back, 11 days for them, 700 years for the planet. And it's like early 21st century type deal. And, it's like news channels and everything, televangelists on there talking about Kelly and, I guess...
arguing about whether it should be in schools. And
yeah, wars going on. It's basically like a snapshot of Earth today without getting too much into the political side.
Right.
But what the Orville has done, with few exceptions, is done a very good job of addressing political commentary head on.
Oh, yeah.
Or, just lifestyles.
Well, not really tackling it, just expressing Seth MacFarlane's social justice opinions.
Yeah.
That's what it's done.
Social commentary.
Yeah.
I said political commentary, really social commentary.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job in this one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And it had been a minute since we had really addressed anything like that.
Yeah.
And I needed that break because we had like 3 episodes back to back when it was nothing but social justice opinions.
Yeah.
And I just...
Well, I mean, this was like a hell of a good episode.
It was really good.
Because, you had like the whole love story between them is like the backdrop. You had, some really funny, that one funny joke. This was more of a serious show.
It was.
And it was set up in such a way, I mean, it was really relatable. It was just fun to watch.
That and like, the conclusion of it where...
It worked out.
It did work out. 700 years later.
Well, they sent Isaac there, the robot, because he's basically immortal, and he goes and spends 700 years with the people. And come to find out, what it was is, they were fascinated by him.
Oh, green screen.
Is that the green screen?
Probably.
Maybe live on the air.
Uh-oh. Yay! Green screen frame. Cool.
It happened. It happened over here. It
You're
happened.
so silly.
Oh my God. Anyway, now that I'm here with a green screen, Hello, green screen frame.
You look like Poetic Steam Hippie on Steambox Saturday. That's what she has, is a lot of different packages and stuff.
But
anyway.
Yeah, they end up sending Isaac the robot to stay with this civilization. And of course, I'm sure, it was neat when he first showed up, that kind of thing. But the civilization basically grew out of their religion.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said it basically grew out of their religion.
And they were like, it was a period in history, blah blah blah. But if it wasn't you, we would have been worshiping somebody else or some other person or some other being.
That's just how civilization.
Yeah, it's just how
evolves.
things roll.
Yeah.
And then at the end,
it kind of like gave you a little hope. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Well, that's about as far off there as we could go.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Hope.
But yeah, at the very end. Okay, that ain't the emoji.
No, it's not.
I thought it was. But anyway, at the end, everything works itself out. They don't, which I'm curious to see where that civilization goes after this. Like how far? Like you would think they would want to stick around and study them for a few more months to see where they go.
I mean, considering like it only takes 11 days to 700 years, why not?
Think about it. I mean, they could help people advance so much if they came back 700 years later, 11 days for us, and you have this technology. Oh God, we don't have to worry about fuel shortages or they don't have to at this point anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like also it's a bad thing because maybe they have weapons or something, or maybe some disease manages to progress over several hundred years to the point where our antibiotics can't treat it. And there you go, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was overall a very great episode. This one, to me, gets a 10.
Yeah,
this is a solid 10. I like the commentary. It was entertaining. I love this episode.
It was really good.
The season, it wasn't your typical season finale because it didn't have the big cliffhanger. It didn't have a lot of action or anything.
Not really,
but holy
but
crap!
It's still a really good story.
Yeah, it was top-notch storytelling, and it did what it had to do.
And we got to see them kiss.
Yeah. I mean, this episode ended the season.
It was funny at the beginning of the show where he was trying to get everybody to come out for a drink, and they were like too busy.
Did you get that when he went to see Lamar, that the woman he was with was wearing like a flight jacket and nothing else?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
that was.
I kept looking for underwear and it wasn't there.
No, it wasn't. It was not there. That was a nice idea.
And then what's his name? Is his name Malloy?
Yes, I think.
The red-haired. I keep wanting to call him Malloy for some reason.
I don't know if that's legit his name, but sure, we'll call him that.
Yeah. Huh.
Anyway.
But what was he doing? He was just hanging out.
He was just hanging out. He's like, I'm already in my pajamas.
Yeah, I'm done. And then he goes and sees Bortus and his boyfriend, and that was some funny stuff.
Right.
Because they were like tossing that egg around, and he basically was like hot potato, and he was like, there's like, you just have to throw it back and forth to each other, and there's like, we don't think humans would enjoy it. He was like, oh yeah. And so like they're tossing it around, and so Ed catches it. He was like, oh, this ain't so bad. This is actually kind of fun. And about that time, this huge blade like shoots through it and goes through his hand. I was like, oh my God, man, that's hardcore. But apparently he won.
He won because the knife went in. And then the drink they gave him, told you
it was like a
diarrhea.
parasite.
It looked like fucking diarrhea.
He was like, oh, by the way, the parasite does come out.
Ugh. Gross.
Well, he only took a sip. Maybe that was the problem.
Oh.
All right. Well, anyway,
let's wrap this.
You give us a 10 as well. All right. Well, I'm excited right now wanting to set up this frame and get the green screen and the clamps and everything put together for the Spoiling Dead tonight. It's going to be a hour and a half episode of The Walking Dead tonight, the mid-season finale, and that's pretty much going to do it for all of our first run TV show reviews. Everything else we'll be doing is like Supernatural and stuff like that. We won't be doing any more, like Sunday night reviews. I actually think we might need to get on Westworld at some point soon. So.
We agreed to Supernatural on Sundays.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay, because we got to do Westworld at some point. Because it's coming soon. But anyway, everybody have a good rest of the day. We'll be back on tonight around 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the credits roll on The Walking Dead mid-season finale. So anyway, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber. Oh, sorry.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. This has been the season finale of the first ever season of the Orville. This episode was called Mad Idolatry. Thanks for watching.